What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com, and this is your market rundown for NFL Week 14. Let's kick things off here on Thursday night. Pittsburgh Steelers, Minnesota Vikings. What we have right now is 3.5 point home favorites are the Minnesota Vikings over the Pittsburgh Steelers, a total of 44.5 in this one. Guys, when you take a look here, what do you really feel like is the difference in these two teams right now? I mean, this Minnesota Vikings team cannot seem to play up to the level that we all thought they were going to be, can't seem to hold a lead. And then the Steelers team is playing just good enough to kind of be feisty in just about any game that they play. Tough for me to see a way that I would ever lay 3.5. I think I'd be taking those points with the Steelers on Thursday night. Ravens at the Browns right now. Cleveland Browns, 2.5 point home favorites as we see here. Total in this one is about 42.5. Browns coming off of a bye, should be as healthy as we've seen them in quite some time. Ravens coming off of that loss this past week where they decided to go for two, down a corner, down a couple of corners, decided they want to end it in regulation, could not get that done, lose to the Steelers outright. And in come the Browns that are going to be able to get pressure on Lamar Jackson. I mean, this is one of the things that this defensive line for the Browns does, and that is get pressure on the opposing quarterback. Does make you wonder if this too might be a little bit too short there. Jacksonville Jaguars on the road at the Tennessee Titans right now. Titans are anywhere from 8.5 all the way to 9.5 point home favorites over the Jags. This thing has a total of 43.5 or 44. Jaguars are one of the worst teams in the NFL. I actually have them power ranked 31st, only above the Texans. They are absolutely horrible. Can't get anything going at all on the offensive side of the ball. Titans are coming off of a bye in which they should get Julio Jones back off of IR this week. Las Vegas Raiders on the road at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 9.5 point home favorites in this one over the Raiders, a total of 48.5 in this thing. Chiefs get the win. Wasn't pretty, certainly not on the offensive side of the ball. There was some weather that they were dealing with in Denver. At home against Denver. That being said, boy, you really start to wonder about the offensive side of the ball for the Chiefs. It just has not been clicking at all. But the good thing is that defense that was so atrocious at the beginning of the season has now started to play really, really well for them. This line, you would think, indicates that Darren Waller is actually a true game-time decision. It's truly questionable here for the Raiders, so that is something, if you do want to back the Raiders, I would suggest you get a good beat on whether you think Waller is going to be out there or not. This offense just does not function the same without him out there. New Orleans Saints on the road at the New York Jets. The Saints are 4.5 to all the way to 6, as we see right here, point road favorites in this thing. 43.5 is your total. The Saints, Taysom Hill looks like he's trying to play through this injury on his hand. He wants to continue to be the quarterback for the Saints. They have done nothing on the offensive side of the ball since Alvin Kamara went out. Another thing to monitor in this one, really hard to make a bet in this game without knowing who's playing. It does look like Corey Davis is going to be out for the Jets as well. He's going to be going on IR with some core going to have some sort of core muscle surgery or something. So just all kinds of nonsense and shenanigans going on in this one. Going to need to pay attention to the injury report. See who's even going to be out on the field for this game. Dallas Cowboys on the road at the Washington football team, anywhere from a 3.5 to 4 point road favorite here against Washington. We know that Dallas should be back now at full strength. Amari Cooper did come back off the COVID list this past week, but was not at 100%, played limited snaps. You would think another week off of that will get him back up to maybe not a full complement of snaps, but at least pretty close. Washington football team wins outright against the Raiders this past week, but they lost Logan Thomas for at least the regular season. We shall see if they make the playoffs, whether he'll be able to get back out there or not, but they'll be without a guy that they'd just gotten back that had become right out of the gate had become another go-to guy for Taylor Heineke in that offense. Feels like that 4 might be a little short in that one. I might be looking at the Cowboys. Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are 3 point home favorites in this one, a total of 42.5 up to 43.5. Guys, what have the Panthers done to be 3-point favorites over anybody, right? That's all I can say about this one. I don't know if it's going to end up in my account or not. I don't know if I'm going to play this one, but I can't see any scenario in which I would be laying points with the Carolina Panthers at this juncture. They fired their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, this past week as well. So all kinds of stuff going on there in Carolina. Seattle Seahawks on the road at the Houston Texans. The Seahawks, despite how poorly they have played over the last month and a half or so, find themselves as 7.5-point road favorites over the Houston Texans. Total in this one about 41.5, 42. Texans worst team in football by my power rankings. Can't see that changing throughout the course of the rest of the season. I just think they're just a shell of an actual NFL football team, which is why you have yourself the Seahawks here at 7.5. This is going to be a very popular teaser leg this week, getting this thing down to 1.5, where the Seahawks just basically have to win the game. And probably paired up with this game we'll talk about right here, which is Detroit Lions on the road at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are 7.5 to 8-point home favorites in this one over the Detroit Lions. Total of 42. Like I said, probably the biggest pairing of the week will be taking the Broncos down from 7.5, 8 down to 1.5 or 2 and pairing it up with the Seattle Seahawks team up here. That is going to be a super, super popular teaser leg this week. Lions just played their Super Bowl. They got their only win of the season, and I can't imagine, I'm not a big spot guy, but this seems like a very, very big kind of letdown here. The Giants on the road at the Los Angeles Chargers. We are looking at Chargers as 10 or 10.5-point home favorites in this one. We know Daniel Jones won't play. Doesn't look like Mike Glennon's going to be able to play. So this could be Jake Fromm for the Giants. Yes, Jake Fromm for the Giants could be quarterbacking, making his first start in the NFL, which is why you see this spread up as high as it is. And we have seen some of these quarterbacks that don't really necessarily deserve to be in the NFL really, really, really struggle. So Jake Fromm, not one of those guys that's a running quarterback either. So it's not like he brings that angle, that aspect to this game. It is going to be tough sailing, I think, for the Giants. And this one's a total of 44.5 there. 49ers on the road at Cincinnati Bengals. This one right now, Bengals point and a half at home over the 49ers, a total of 47.5. I'm going to hold out before I would make any bet one way or the other. See what's going on with Deebo Samuel. See what's going on with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow with the dislocated pinky in the last game. Deebo Samuel had to sit out due to a groin injury. I mean, these two teams, the 49ers obviously look completely different without Deebo out there, and then the Bengals would just be a shell of the same team if you don't have Joe Burrow out on the field. Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bills coming off of the Monday Night Football loss in the horrible conditions to the Patriots this past week. They find themselves as 3-point road underdogs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs did what they had to do this past week. Antonio Brown may or may not even be back with this team, so something to think about as we move forward. If you have futures, if you're looking at futures and all that, you may not care whether Antonio Brown's back on this team or not, but I guess they are at least kicking around the idea of him, of cutting him once his suspension is over for producing the fake COVID vaccination card. Total of 52.5 in this one. I think the Bucs are a superior team. I have the Bucs power rated higher. I just don't know if I have them 3 points power rated higher. Certainly something I'm going to look at, but I think this Bills team is completely overrated and has been for quite a while. Chicago Bears on the road at the Green Bay Packers. What do you say about this one? I mean, 11.5, 12.5 points. It's appropriate. Total 43.5, 44. Packers are going to win just by how much? How much do they want to win by is basically what it comes down to. And finally, on Monday Night Football, we have the Rams and the Cardinals, one of the best games of the week. 2.5 to 3-point home favorites are the Cardinals over the Rams, a total of 51.5 or 52. What a game. What a game for the future of the division, the conference, everything. Rams came back, put up a ton of points this past week against a bad opponent, as expected. And then the Cardinals just win, and they just keep winning, and they win, and they win, and they win, and they win. It doesn't matter. This was on the road in bad weather. They still won anyway at Chicago. They just keep winning. Kyler Murray's back. He looked healthy. He was running the ball. He was doing the things that you expect Kyler Murray to do. So he looked good. DeAndre Hopkins was back. He didn't play a full complement of snaps, but another week should have him getting more involved as well for the Cardinals. Really interesting game, really intriguing game. I'm interested in a 2.5, I think, on the Cardinals, but again, not quite in the account yet. Guys, if you want to take a look, this is an awesome tool here. All you do is go to lines and just click on odds up there. It'll take you to this screen, and then just click on your state right here in the drop down. You can do spread, you can do the money line, you can do the over under as well. And then listen, you won't multiple outs. You can see how the lines change, the juices change, all the different things like that. And here, right here on your state, click on one of these offers, and then that gives you, all these things you see. Look, free match bet, free risk-free bets, 2,000 risk-free bets, deposit matches, all kinds of stuff. Like, take advantage of the free money that these books are going to give you. And we have the very best offers on all of these things just right up here with whatever your state is. Just the offers will be right here on the odds page as well. Also, going ahead and started a Discord, so be sure and come and join us and get in some chat over there. Some fun stuff going on throughout the week in all the various sports. So come join the Discord with us as well. And of course, go ahead and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. This is one of your last warnings. We are going to do a big giveaway for everybody that is a subscriber to the channel. It's an appreciation, and all you have to do is be a subscriber to be automatically entered. So really do appreciate you guys supporting us here on the channel. Good luck on all your bets here in week 14.